Welcome, dear listeners, to another chilling episode of Wicked Whispers, where the shadows come alive and nightmares whisper their secrets.
In the small town of Ravenswood, an old, towering structure stands as a silent sentinel over the landscape. The water tower, once a vital part of the town's infrastructure, now looms as a relic of the past, shrouded in mystery and haunted by a tragic history. As the sun sets and darkness envelopes the town, whispers of ghostly apparitions and eerie phenomena become more than just campfire stories. Tonight, we journey into the heart of the haunted water tower, uncovering the chilling events and spectral encounters that have left an indelible mark on the community. Prepare yourself for a tale of sorrow, mystery, and the unrelenting presence of the supernatural. The Ravenswood Water Tower was constructed in the early 1900s, a marvel of engineering for its time. Standing tall against the skyline, it served as the primary water source for the town's residents. However, beneath its utilitarian purpose lay a history marked by tragedy and loss. In 1923, a devastating accident occurred during the maintenance of the tower. James Wallace, a young and ambitious engineer, fell to his death while working on the upper levels of the structure. His untimely demise shocked the tight-knit community, casting a shadow over the water tower. Rumors began to circulate that James's spirit was unable to move on, forever bound to the place where he met his tragic end. For years, the water tower continued to operate without incident. However, as time passed, strange occurrences began to plague the area. The first recorded sighting of James Wallace's ghost occurred in the 1950s. Late one night, a group of teenagers dared each other to climb the tower. As they ascended, they heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoing above them. When they reached the top, they were met with the sight of a translucent figure, dressed in early 20th century clothing, standing at the edge of the platform. The figure looked at them with sorrowful eyes before vanishing into thin air. Word of the ghostly encounter spread quickly, and the water tower became a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers. Some dismissed the sightings as mere folklore, while others believed that James Wallace's restless spirit was indeed haunting the tower. As more people visited the water tower, reports of strange phenomena increased. Visitors described feeling sudden drops in temperature, even on the warmest nights. Some claimed to hear disembodied voices whispering their names, while others experienced the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. One particularly chilling account came from a local historian named Margaret Turner. Intrigued by the stories, Margaret decided to investigate the water tower for herself. Armed with a flashlight and a tape recorder, she ventured to the site late one evening. As she walked around the base of the tower, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Her flashlight flickered, and the air grew cold. She turned on her tape recorder and began to ask questions, hoping to communicate with any spirits present. To her astonishment, when she played back the recording, she heard a faint, mournful voice saying, "Help me." Margaret was convinced that she had made contact with James Wallace's spirit. Her experience added credibility to the haunting and fueled further interest in the paranormal activities surrounding the water tower. In the 1980s, the water tower was decommissioned, and its upkeep was neglected. The structure began to deteriorate, adding to its eerie appearance. Despite its dilapidated state, the tower continued to draw curious visitors. One summer night, a group of amateur ghost hunters decided to spend the night at the tower. Equipped with cameras, EMF meters, and other ghost hunting equipment, they set up their base at the foot of the structure. As the night wore on, they experienced several inexplicable events. Their EMF meters spiked without warning, and their cameras captured strange, orb-like lights hovering around the tower. Around midnight, one of the group members, Tom, felt a sudden chill and an overwhelming sense of fear. He turned to see a shadowy figure standing a few feet away, its form barely visible in the darkness. The figure seemed to stare at him with intense, hollow eyes. Terrified, Tom called out to his friends, but when they turned their flashlights towards the spot, the figure had disappeared. The group reviewed their footage the next day and discovered several instances of unexplained shadows and movements. They were convinced that they had encountered the ghost of James Wallace, further cementing the water tower's reputation as a haunted location. The haunting of the water tower became deeply ingrained in Ravenswood's folklore. Over the years, residents shared their own stories and experiences, each adding to the legend. One particularly compelling story came from an elderly resident named Martha Jenkins. She recounted a night in the 1960s when she was walking home from a friend's house. As she passed by the water tower, she heard the sound of someone crying. She followed the sound and saw a man standing at the base of the tower, his head in his hands. Concerned, she approached him, but as she got closer, the man vanished. Martha later learned about James Wallace's tragic death and believed that she had encountered his spirit, mourning his untimely demise. In the early 2000s, a professional paranormal investigation team was invited to study the water tower. Led by renowned ghost hunter Jack Reynolds, the team set out to document the activity and uncover any evidence of the supernatural. Over the course of several nights, the team experienced a range of phenomena. They captured EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings of faint voices, including what sounded like a man's voice saying, "Why am I here? And it's not safe." They also recorded video footage of unexplained shadows and light anomalies. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence came from a thermal imaging camera. While scanning the area around the tower, the camera picked up a distinct, human-shaped figure standing near the top. The figure remained visible for several minutes before disappearing. The team concluded that the figure was likely the spirit of James Wallace, further validating the reports of hauntings. Despite its haunted reputation, the water tower held historical significance for the town of Ravenswood. Local historians and preservationists worked to restore and maintain the structure, ensuring that its legacy would not be forgotten. In 2015, a fundraising campaign was launched to restore the tower and create a small museum dedicated to its history and the legend of James Wallace. The community rallied behind the effort, and the project was successfully completed. The restored tower became a popular attraction, drawing visitors from near and far. The museum featured exhibits on the construction of the tower, the life and tragic death of James Wallace, and the numerous ghostly encounters reported over the years. It served as a place of remembrance and reflection, honoring both the history of the town and the enduring mystery of the haunted water tower. Even with the restoration and increased attention, the hauntings at the water tower did not cease. Visitors continued to report strange occurrences, and the legend of James Wallace's restless spirit persisted. One particularly eerie account came from a young couple who visited the tower late one night. As they stood near the base, they heard the sound of metal clanging from above. They looked up to see a shadowy figure moving along the platform. The figure seemed to glide rather than walk, and its presence filled them with an overwhelming sense of sadness. The couple left quickly, but they could not shake the feeling that they had witnessed something otherworldly. Their experience added to the growing body of evidence that the water tower was indeed haunted by the ghost of James Wallace. The haunting of the water tower remains one of Ravenswood's most enduring mysteries. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories and experiences shared by countless visitors cannot be easily dismissed. The tale of James Wallace, the young engineer whose life was tragically cut short, continues to captivate and intrigue those who seek to uncover the truth behind the hauntings. As you stand before the towering structure, you can almost feel the weight of its history and the lingering presence of the past. The water tower serves as a reminder that some spirits, bound by unfinished business and unresolved tragedies, remain tethered to the places they once knew. The haunting of the water tower is a testament to the enduring power of memory and the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of the known.